Hey, what's going on, freaks and friends? So recently I was rewatching the Scream films since the Scream 6 DVD has recently been made available for home release. And while going through the films, it occurred to me that Gale Weathers is a much more important character than I would have ever wanted to give her credit for. Here's why. So as we all know, guys, Gale Weathers wrote the book Wrongly Accused, which talked about the Cotton Weary case where he was innocent in the murder of Maureen Prescott, where it was a case of mistaken identity on the account of Sidney Prescott. She fingered the wrong guy. But having wrote that book, she is already sort of intertwined to what's going on in Woodsboro a year later when the killings that make up the bulk of the film's narrative pick up. So for her to come back, that is going to throw a wrench into Billy and Stu's plans later in the film, as we see when she comes in and she's like, hey, news reporter comes in and saves the day. Had the killings not started when they did, or had she not wrote the book at all about Cotton Weary, she would have in fact
be in New York covering the Sharon Stone stalker.
We're gonna go with the idea that the events of the film are playing out as they are. Billy and Stu have gone mad, they're out to make their own movie. But Gale Weathers stays in New York to cover the Sharon Stone stalker. Had she done that, I don't think anyone would have been there to save the day, to save Sidney at the end of the film. I think it is very likely that had Gale been in New York City for the runtime of this film, Billy and Stu very well could have survived and been successful in killing Sidney and framing Neil Prescott for all the murders that occur throughout the film. This was just something that kind of popped up in my head again as I was rewatching these films. And I'm not the biggest Gale fan just because she's a bit of a bitch. Like, I love her, but I hate her. She's one of those characters you just love to hate. But I was thinking, though, just how important she is, and, you know, thinking about it with this whole idea, I think it makes a lot of sense that Gale is a more important character than a lot of us would like to give her credit for. So anyway, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that if Gale had been in New York, somebody else could have come along and saved Sidney and Neil at the end of the story? Or do you think that things would have gone in favor of Billy and Stu? Let me know your thoughts on that down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with some friends, and maybe hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a lot. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time.